Are markets being manipulated after market hours? Nope, we have an update for you guys. What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBit Solutions here with a super quick market update. As many of you guys have seen, or maybe you haven't, NASDAQ market is in the red, at least over 0.5%, consistent lower highs and lower lows. We closed at 722 and now it's trading at 718. What's going on, right? And if you pay attention, it's the semiconductor stocks that are selling off the hardest. I made a little bit over $3,000 today on MU. And then because of the volatility that began to present itself, especially during the aftermarket hours, a huge run up and then a gap down, I was able to make $2,600 on MSTR. But of course, position fully closed. I don't carry these positions overnight. With that being said, what is the news that is being released after market hours that is causing the market to sell off? Again, we might have spoken too soon because in today's earlier video, we're talking about like, hey, markets really are not factoring in any uncertainty. As long as no uncertainty presents itself, then there's really nothing to, kind of be concerned about. This was like one of the first weekends that like there was no signs of an escalation, which was pretty nice because it was like a 3-day weekend holiday for us. But then we got this. Iran strikes 2 commercial vessels in the Strait of Hormuz, causing heavy damage. So again, Iran's IRGC fired at least 2 missiles at multiple commercial ships transiting through the Strait of Hormuz, with 2 commercial ships hit and suffering significant damages. One of these ships is on fire and US-backed Southern Courier off the coast of Oman. So again, uncertainty about an attack that the IRGC or Iran has now made on a vessel in the Strait of Hormuz. The thing that I believe is more significant is this is now the 3rd time, right? The South Korean market, over 170 billion USD has been wiped from the Southern Korean stock market as the KOSPI fell 4%, following Samsung's Q2 earnings guidance. What the heck is Samsung reporting? So Samsung killed it when it came down to their earnings, right? As expected. What started to concern investors is that, remember, these AI companies, semiconductors and or memory chip companies are trading at perfection, and anything sub-perfection will cause the market to react. They're trading at such a premium and with so much hype that they cannot afford to show any signs of not being perfect. The AI memory demand driven by HBM is certainly there. But the moment signals emerged that it couldn't sufficiently prop up Samsung's overall revenue and guidance, the selling pressure poured in. It's a reflection of the market's judgment that HBM alone can't yet substitute for the cycle recovery in the rest of the memory business. So again, there's lack of perfection. What was expected to prop up guidance and revenue was not actually followed through with. So demand is great, but it's just not as great as what was expected. This is the 3rd time that signs of uncertainty begin to present itself in the South Korean market. Now again, it's very different than maybe our market, right? It doesn't mean that what is happening there has to happen here. But what perfect timing, especially as Michael Burry responds to Trump calling out short sellers. Donald Trump couldn't in a million years understand or make his way through my essays, but he can shoot from the hip and make money from his and for him and his cronies better than anyone. I agree with that. There is no question that Trump is just, I would say, he doesn't need to be. I would say that was the best way to answer it is there's no question that Michael Burry understands markets and financial markets to a degree that Trump, of course, would never. With that being said, Trump is in a position of power. He doesn't have to. He sent out a tweet just like he sent out today, right, with a message. I think it was during his live stream that he just talked about Dell. And he's like, everyone should go and buy Dell. Again, is it a conflict of interest? I think it is. I think it's a complete conflict of interest bull trap. But again, no one's going to do anything because he's the president of the United States. All his unbearable blindless supporters, right? There's nothing wrong with voting for Trump. I did it. I just do not see how, right, like he does something that you know isn't right and you turn a blind eye. The blindless following just doesn't make sense. You don't have to agree with my political view. I don't have to agree with your political view. It's not that deep. But when you see that there's a direct conflict of interest and abuse of power that he was voted into, again, it's like, how can he be pumping these companies that are publicly traded and he's personally invested into them, causing Dell to skyrocket 8% at one point just to give it all back? It's a short-lived positive catalyst, trapping a bunch of people that bought into the hype. And then now from the highs, right, of 429, they end up losing 5 to 4%, depending on where it is that they bought. It's just terrible, right? It's the same bullshit over and over again. And Dell hasn't really made much progress since then, showing strong signs of a resistance. But again, if you pay attention to a lot of these semiconductor stocks, they've been showing signs of lack of progress. I would love to see a nice retracement on these semiconductor stocks, not because I think that it's a bubble that needs to pop. I just want to be invested in them at a decent deal, right? That's me selfishly. I would love them to sell off enough, not just because I want to short them, but because I would love to invest in them long term. Not all of them. I don't care for Intel. There's a handful of them that I do not care for. I think they're absolute bullshit companies, but there are a few like Micron. Me personally, I really do like the company. I like how it's being ran. I like it fundamentally. I like it technically. And yeah, I would love the opportunity to invest in it once a deal presents itself. With that being said, I wanted you to understand the why markets are dropping after market hours. And now you know the update of what's going on in the South Korean market and current uncertainty in the semiconductor and memory chip space, that again, they over anticipated what the company would do versus what it did report. Worse than expected guidance. Simply not perfect, right? And then, of course, the attacks in Iran that are currently going on. So I'll make sure that I do my part in continuously keeping you guys up to date. All I literally ask you to do is subscribe for updates to the YouTube channel. Also, do not forget, if you guys haven't, for those that are parents and that have had a child from 2025 up until now, up until 2028, you guys can apply for the $1,000 Trump account that is funded by the Department of Treasury. So again, if you guys want to learn more about that, heritagegap.com. Feel free to check it out. We're going to send you a tutorial video. Other than that, again, daily live sessions, whenever it is that you're ready to tune on in. I'm going to be trading live right at market open tomorrow. I wanted to invite you whenever it is that you're ready. Second link in the description down below. One-time payment, lifetime access. We have members that signed up back in 2018. They still have access to it today, and they only paid once. If you want to preview a live session before you join, just scroll down a little bit. It's going to show you a sample of a previous live session. Check it out. And if you like it and you want to be able to experience it every day, like I said, second link down below. I appreciate you guys' time. I hope that we're under thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.